Caleb with Brownells here. In today's quick tip, we're going to be going over how to set up and install M-Lok rail sections. And not really just the rail sections, but pretty much any M-Lok accessory that mounts to an M-Lok handguard. So before we get started on any of this, let's talk about what M-Lok actually is. So if you're familiar with the 1913 Pic rail, and you've seen these handguards out here, I'm sure you've seen these rectangular cuts in them. These are M-Lok slots. Now, what those are accessory slots without adding the bulk of your 1913 rail. You can actually mount accessories and additional rail panels only where you need them rather than having them all the way across the handguard. Now, we have a video where we went over 1913 rail versus M-Lok versus another one you may hear about there called KeyMod. So for more information on what each one actually is and the pros and cons, go check out that video. But for now, let's install an M-Lok accessory rail. So the first thing you'll notice whenever you get your rail section or accessory out the box, you're going to notice it's going to come with 2 screws and 2 of these little mounting plates here. So the way this is designed to work, you can see I already installed one of the screws and plates, but the way it designs to work is that it sits on the M-Lok slot, and you can see it indexes pretty good there. And then what you would do is just tighten that screw, and the back plate, once it goes in, it's going to rotate 90 degrees, and you can see how these bevels are cut on here, so that when it rotates 90 degrees, it stops, and then your screw is going to tighten, and this is going to lock that accessory onto the M-Lok handguard. So extremely useful, very easy to use, and has a really good return to zero capability. So let's go over how I set these up the first time I get them. So you can see I already did one back here. What I'll do is I'll put the screw in, put the plate on, and then tighten the screw all the way down. Now you're only going to have to do this the first time you set it up for your handguard, not every time. So I'll go ahead and do that here. Drop the screw on, and you're going to put the flat piece of the plate facing upward if you're holding it like so. Alright, so what we're going to do now is thread this on. And this is the M-Lok brand. They put Magpul brand, and they put some thread locker on there. So you'll need to use something just to give you a little extra leverage as you tighten it down. And I'm just going to screw that all the way in till it bottoms out. Not tight, just till it bottoms out. Alright, so now that we have it like so, what we can do is set it on the handguard, go all the way through, and now make sure whatever you're putting on is sitting flush with the handguard. You don't want any gaps. And once you have this in position, what you can do is we've already tightened it all the way. So what we're going to do is back off. I usually go about 180 degrees, and then you'll be able to feel it make that 90-degree turn. So now whenever I come back forward, I can feel that the plate on the inside is flipping 90 degrees before my threads actually start turning. So once you feel it flip 90 degrees, just go ahead and tighten it down the rest of the way. So the back one's done. So now we're going to go ahead and move on to the front one. Now, in this case here, I can look down in there and see it actually rotating, but you're not going to be able to do that in all cases with all handguards. But it's super easy to feel. Once you go through this, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. But we're just going to snug that up, and that's all there is to it. This is now mounted. So if we wanted to remove it, now we don't have to go through that entire setup process again. If we want to remove it, we're just going to rotate 90 degrees, front and back, rotate, and it comes right off. Now you notice that they're loose on there, but they're set up for your handguard. So now, to put it back on, just line them up like that, set it on there, and just tighten. You don't have to go through that whole process again. And it's just that simple. So that's installing M-Lok accessories on an M-Lok handguard. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to post them down below. If you haven't already, and I don't know why, but go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I don't know why you're not doing that yet. But thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.